Well, good morning, good morning. What a glorious morning. We was up early and we've oh, excuse me, we've shoveled all of the snow so that we've now cleared all the snow. We shipped it to people who like it more than we do. I'm thoroughly enjoying life here. One or two folks say, what on earth made you move? Now, this morning I got up, made tea and had a little route around looking at things that friends of mine want to tell me about. And sadly, last night, at a place called Chafford 100, where there's a railway station, a shopping centre and a huge housing estate, by the railway station there was what is being described as an acid attack. Now, I rather hope that none of you know what an acid attack is. It's not a pleasant business. As you know, in England we tend not to have guns. Possession of guns is pretty much not allowed. You know, of course there are exceptions. Farmers have shotguns, sportsmen can have guns, but generally speaking guns aren't allowed, which causes people to look for other weapons. Now, Chafford 100 railway station is a bit of a focus for assorted ne'er-do-wells. I've got to be careful here how I describe them. And they loiter about with little man bags over their shoulders, and some of them, it is thought, are involved in the small-scale dealership of drugs. There's little gangs of them that hang about, and there's always this permanent state of anxiety there that one gang will attack another gang. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened last night. That's not known yet. That hasn't been investigated, but you know, it's a common sort of thing that these little groups of people loiter about. They get phone calls, they jump on their bicycles, because we are talking about youngsters. We're talking about 16, 17, 18-year-olds, and off they go and they deliver a small package of drugs to somebody, and yeah, they hang about, and every so often they have violent episodes between the different small gangs. And one of the things very often carried by them will be one of those sport drink bottles, you know, the sort with the little nozzle that normally speaking you can drink refreshing water from. But instead of having water in it, they will have some sort of corrosive liquid. Now, we'll say acid, but that's not necessarily the case. It could be a strong alkali, you know, toilet cleaner, drain cleaner, that sort of thing that will give you nasty burns. The difficulty for those who get involved in cleaning up afterwards is you never really know what the stuff is, whether it's acid, whether it's alkali. So the only thing you can do is pour serious amounts of water over people that have been affected. And that's what happened last night, about 8:30 in the evening at Chafford 100 railway station. Not the first time. I suspect it won't be the last. And that was the environment that I very much was living in. So why did I move here? Well, here in the shops they sell toilet cleaner and drain cleaner, and they sell it to people who use it to clean drains, and they're not affected by small gangs of teenagers that squirt it at each other. So there we are. I'm in well, it's not paradise perhaps, but probably as close as you'll get on this earth, and I very much regret that I've left other people, friends of mine, in that awful environment where you're scared to ask people what they've got in their bags. You're scared to say, what are you doing here, in case they extract a drink bottle and squirt you with something. So there we are. That's the thought for the morning. Not a good one, I'm afraid. I'm going to get on with things that I've got to do. We're going to start by going and getting some food because, well, I like to eat. So, running into his I run up behind one of these wonderful little motor cars. Not really sure if they are a motor car or if it's a lawnmower with a car body on it. These things won't go particularly quickly, which is why they allow all sorts of people to drive them that wouldn't be allowed to drive big fast motor cars. And it meant that all of those people stuck at that red traffic light, they all went flying past just so they could be in front at the traffic light. Well, there we are. There might be a lesson in that, mightn't there? But life isn't all doom and gloom. Life goes on. I'm just getting ready to put a coat of primer on the back side of the gate. I've already put a coat on the front side. That gate is going to go there. And once it does, then I can convert that old gate into fire. I don't think it's going to give much heat, do you? That's horrible. So there we are. That's the next job for the next 20 minutes or so. Actually, an awful lot of painting involved in a gate like this. Oh dear, it's great stuff here. I brought it in because it's dark and it's cold, and you know, my gate just wanted to be loved and brought in the warm. I was rather hoping to put another coat of paint on it tonight, but the primer still hasn't dried properly. So there we are. Been a good day, been very productive. I've not shown everything that I've been up to today, but it's involved cutting roof tiles, it's involved mixing cement, it's involved cutting wood. It's been a good, solid, productive day. I started this morning with a miserable sort of story about a horrible incident at Chafford 100 railway station. I've not long got off the phone from friends, and yeah, one of my pals was at work at the railway station when that all happened. It seems that the people involved in the incident are regular faces there. None of my friends were hurt, none of my friends were actually that particularly put out about it, because horribly and sadly it's the sort of occurrence that they've grown used to. If it didn't happen, they'd begin to worry, I think. So there we are. It's sort of almost time for bed. Busy programme of works tomorrow. If the weather stays like this, then yeah, we'll certainly get some paint on this gate. I'm quite pleased with this actually. It's a very basic piece of carpentry, but yeah, it's a big handsome gate to replace an old rotten one with. Anyway, there we are. Good night to you all. And what was it Dave Allen used to say? Hands up those of you that remember Dave Allen. You know, he'd sit there on his stall with a cigarette in one hand and a glass of whiskey in the other, and I can never remember which finger he was missing. And Dave Allen, very famously, was an atheist. He'd been brought up as a Catholic, but he'd become an atheist. But despite that, every time he finished his programme, he would always say, "And may your God go with you." So there we are, folks. I'll catch you all tomorrow.